Hello my friends, thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I'm excited to share with you the transition that we've made from fall into winter and give you a sneak peek at some of the decorating that I've done for Christmas and also show you some of the activities that we're doing as a family to embrace the Christmas season. Before I begin, I want to share with you some video footage that I took of our Thanksgiving celebration. We celebrated Thanksgiving at my parents' house, and we had my sister's family and some friends from church come and join us, and it was a beautiful celebration. We had so much fun in each other's company. It was the first time that we cooked an entire Thanksgiving meal from scratch. So it was a little bit intimidating, but so much easier than I expected. Thankfully, I think everything turned out pretty delicious. My kids couldn't stop commenting about how beautiful Grandma and Grandpa had decorated their home. It truly felt like such a cozy and inviting space. It's a stark transition to this week where the weather dropped. We are in the midst of an inversion where everything is frozen outside and so cold but beautiful. It certainly looks like a winter wonderland, and it's just the perfect way for us to welcome the Christmas season. It was such a beautiful morning. We were able to roll up the windows and look out at this winter wonderland, and I poured myself a hot cup of coffee and just sat down and admired the beauty of the outdoors. I also put on a Yule log with some Christmas music on our TV, and it just really set the tone to the beauty of the holiday season. It felt like Christmas in our home. It made me so happy, and I could just tell that my children could feel it as well. They were so thrilled at the surprise that we had outside. I haven't uploaded my full Christmas home tour. I'm working on it right now, and when I do, I'll take you through the details of how we decorated and why we decorated the way that we did. But as I mentioned in my last video, I'm such a red Christmas kind of girl. Throughout the year, I tend to decorate with more neutral colors. I love a lot of like sage greens and powder blues, but when it comes to the Christmas season, it just feels so homey to have that bright pop of red anywhere that I can add it. Today, it just brightened up our day, I think, having such bright colors in our home to contrast against the gray and kind of gloomy look of the outdoors. I stepped outside with my kids because it started to snow, and it was so magical. It was the second snow of the year, so we wanted to take full advantage of it. But with this inversion, it was so cold. I happened to notice that our trees were also covered in these tiny icicles. It was so beautiful to see the red and yellow berries from our crab apples covered in these tiny icicles. All right, now here is a look into a little bit of real life. I mentioned in my last video that we make our own bread. Today is the day that I did a bulk bake where I made all kinds of baked goods that I stock up in my freezer to have available for my family. And on this day, I kind of stretched myself a bit thin, making different types of baked goods. I think in the future, I'm going to try to bake one type of baked good, but a lot of it. And that way, I think it'll be a lot easier in terms of keeping track of fermentation time and baking time, as opposed to having different fermentation times and different baking times and different baking temperatures. So on this day, I ended up baking 2 loaves of focaccia bread, 4 loaves of sourdough bread, 2 batches of bagels, and 48 sourdough dinner rolls. so I was quite busy this day. I think I baked until around 8 or 9 p.m. and I started around 9 in the morning. So it's about 12 hours of baking on my feet. My mom gifted me this adorable spatula that has a deer in the woods during the winter, and I thought it was just such a sweet touch to add to my other cooking utensils in the kitchen. I feel like it is the heart of the home, particularly during the Christmas season when it's cold outside and all I want to do is turn my oven on to stay warm and to keep our home feeling cozy. So I try to make it a special place for us to be around since we spend so much time in this area of my home. I added a couple of garlands to the kitchen, one with just greenery and the other one I DIY'd with cookie cutters and dried orange slices and crosses. I'll share with you how I assembled it, but it was so much fun to make and I think it adds the perfect touch to my kitchen area. It truly doesn't feel like the Christmas season without some gingerbread, and we love baking gingerbread in our house. But this year, I thought in addition to baking gingerbread cookies, we would attempt to do some gingerbread houses. So Grandma and Grandpa treated our kids to a couple of gingerbread kits, and they had so much fun getting creative and decorating their gingerbread houses with the candies that the kits came with, and they make for beautiful decorations in our home that are meaningful and homemade from my own children. So since we made our gingerbread houses, we had to make gingerbread characters to go with our houses. We baked fresh gingerbread together, and this is one of my favorite Christmas memories with my kids. I look back on doing this last year with my kids and seeing their sweet faces smothered with gingerbread and frosting, and it brings us so much joy to think back to those times. And so this year we did the same thing. So to start off the Christmas season, we baked gingerbread together. I'll share with you the recipe that I use. It's so delicious. They come out tasting very spicy and flavorful, and the cutouts maintain their shape after baking. They're just such a delicious recipe. In fact, we gave these to our neighbors last year for Christmas, and everyone really enjoyed them. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. It means so much to me, and I really appreciate having you here. I hope you have a blessed week.